we posted, I guess. Did you see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh, mm, I think we are half of a house square kilometers shape, maybe.
Yeah. It's about 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks about right.
We are not that much, but wild animals, poor wild animals, they
right? Yeah.
wild animals are really a little population.
Yeah, very small population. I was so surprised when I saw that by weight. Um, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it's pretty shocking. Uh, I wonder if it takes into account sea animals. That was just land mammals, right?
Mammal, maybe.
Yeah, but land mammals, I think. Um,
Uh, Land? I don't remember.
yeah, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sure. But there we go. So I think it was mammals. And Luis, welcome to class. Luis, how's it going?
Hello, Joshua. I'm fine, thank you.
Nice. And yeah, Luis, what have you done today?
Now is lunchtime, and at the morning I have been working, but I have a flu today, so I'm very slow.
Okay, that's not good. Having the flu is the worst. Have you had it for a few days, or is it a new thing?
I think I have for a few days, but I took medicine, and just today is really strong, but it's not so strong if I wasn't taking medicine.
Okay, yeah. So if you didn't have medicine, you'd really be in trouble. All right.
I think so.
Hopefully you feel better. Jose, welcome to class. Jose, how's it going?
Hello, Joshua. Fine. Thanks for asking.
Nice. Good to hear. And Jose, what have you done today?
Now I am studying English. In the morning, I was working.
Okay. And how did work go? Was it exciting?
Yeah, it was fine.
Nice. Okay. And Javier, how are you?
Getting better, Joshua. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. Glad you're feeling better. Um, all right, all right, I think we're good. Does yeah, let's go on to today's class. Let's start with Julieta. Can you read the title and the next lines?
I don't have it yet.
Okay, no worries. Let's have Luis. Can you read the title and the next lines?
Okay, decisions. Uh, Today we will learn decision-making idioms, read comics about big decisions, learn about irrational decisions, and practice roleplay.
Good. Practice. Really nicely done. And Luis, can you ask Jose the first question?
Jose, what are some decisions that you make every day?
Uh, I work teaching. I think I have to take decisions every day. I have to learn to the students properly.
Okay. Mm, need to change this. Oh wow. Need to change that and that as well. So how do we change this sentence or these
Uh,
sentences?
I have to make.
Yep.
It's better to make, no?
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
say take decisions. We make
Yes.
decisions.
Make decisions every day. I have To teach to the students properly. Teach. Okay.
And teach to.
Yes.
There's actually no preposition.
Ah,
Teach the
teach
students.
the students. Okay.
Can you read both sentences one more time?
Yes. Teaching. I have to make decisions every day. I have to teach the students properly. Okay.
Okay, good. And I was just about to welcome Rafa to class, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. So, Jose, can you ask Javier the same question?
Yes. Sorry. What are some decisions that you make every day?
Well, I used to every day I have to make decisions like what clothes are going to wear, yes, what breakfast I'm going to have,
Nice.
also what route I'm going to take to my job, uh, what I'm going to lunch at the afternoon, which friends I'm going to visit. Well, my life, all life is always a decision.
Huh? All life is a decision. Nice. Good. What I'm going to eat in the afternoon is one thing. We wouldn't ever say what I'm going to lunch. It's what I'm going
Okay.
to eat.
What I'm going to eat in the afternoon.
Okay, good. And Javier, can you ask Julieta the next question?
Julieta, what was an important decision you made last year? Talk about it and why it was important.
Mm. Well, an important decision mm, I made last year was about to uh, enroll a mm, course at my university. Perhaps it wasn't a decision, but I didn't had to think too much about that. So
Okay. And what was the course that you enrolled in?
uh, it is about safety and preventing fire and security.
Okay. So it's about safety and preventing fire and security. Um,
Mhm. Mm,
I would say it was about fire safety and security.
yes.
Um, maybe even fire prevention, safety,
Mhm.
and security.
Yes. Thank you.
Nice. Yeah, for sure. Um, and we've got Alexander. Alexander, how's it going?
Hello, I'm fine.
Nice. I like
Nice
your
catch.
picture.
Thanks. Me
Um,
too.
yeah, that's good. That's really funny. All right,
Is
and
it your
Mary.
cat? Sorry.
No, don't be. Ask your question.
Is it your cat?
Yeah.
Oh
And
man.
Yeah, it's a really funny picture. All right, Mary, welcome to class. Mary, how's it going?
Thank you. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for asking. And this is your cat as well, I'm imagining, right?
Yes.
All right. So, what are your cat's names? I guess Mary, start off. What's your cat's name?
Well, actually, I got two cats.
Okay.
That one in the photo, the name of him is Simba, like the King Lion.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Okay. Cool. I have two cats, and his name, instead of the name of him, his name is Simba.
okay.
All right, and Alexander?
Yeah.
What's your cat's name?
Uh, it's he. I'm
His
afraid
name.
his name. All right. His name is um okay, I'll translate you in English, and it's gonna be like, smoke.
Nice. Smokey? Smoke?
Smoke. It's yeah, smoke, but he's called, in Russia, and it's like Demok,
Okay,
and it means smoke.
cool. Um, nice. And so, really good. Just figured since we saw two cat pictures, ask about the cats. But good. And does anybody have any questions on this page? Okay. And let's go to the next page. Oh, Alexander, one quick thing with your question. We can use it to refer to animals. Generally, if it's a pet, we refer to it as he or she, just because it's a little bit more polite. It's less offensive to the pet owners. Generally, pet owners are a little bit more protective about their pets, and they treat them a little bit more like humans. And so, using like the impersonal pronoun, it is just a little bit. It's considered rude, I'd say.
Yeah. All right. I'll memorize that.
Yeah, but it's a small point. You can refer to pets as it, but you might not want to. All right, and so let's have Mary. Can you read the title and the words?
Sure. Vocabulary. Discuss, argue, contemplate, regret, anxiety, possibilities, repercussions, rational, irrational.
Nice. Okay. Again, there are a lot of tough words here. Looking at the beginning vocabulary. Vocabulary.
Vocabulary.
Argue.
Argue,
Regret.
regret,
Yeah. Anxiety.
anxiety,
Yeah. It's like ang. Ang.
anxiety,
Anxiety. Yeah. Uh, and repercussions.
repercussions.
Yeah, repercussions. Good. And does anybody have any questions about any of these words? No question? No questions? All right. Luis, can you make a sentence using repercussions?
Precautions.
Repercussions.
Repercussions. Wow. Uh, the the news that Europe repercussions in Brazil. The news
Ah,
in Europe
hmm.
repercussions.
A repercussion is a noun. Um, to repercuss would be a verb. So like the news from Europe repercusses in Brazil, which doesn't exactly work. I don't think I've ever heard of somebody using repercuss as a verb. I'm actually going to look it up.
I think I mixed because in Brazil we use.
Yeah. I'm looking it up. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, apparently repercuss is not a verb. People have used it as verbs before, so it has been used as a verb. but it is not recognized as one. But yeah, I think you're using it correctly. So the repercussions of European news affect
Affected.
Brazil.
Yes. Or the economy. I could say the slowdown in the Europe economy cause repercussions in Brazil.
Yeah, the slowdown of the European economy causes repercussions in Brazil. That'd be perfect. Really good job.
Teacher,
This is like a statement that they do all the time.
It's a common statement.
Yes, because if the economy in Europe was bad, we don't export
Hmm.
to the countries.
Yeah.
teacher, it's like the consequences of an action.
The consequence of an action.
It is.
Yeah. So the consequence, a repercussion is a consequence, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Repercussion it literally means echo. It's echo. Generally. Yeah. So good. And any other questions? Okay, and I actually just did a little bit more research, and apparently it is a verb, so you can use it as a verb. So again, just because there are different sources online about the verb, yeah, it can be used as one. So if we look at this, so an OED is the Oxford English Dictionary. Okay, and I think we're good here. Let's go on to the next page. Let's skip that for now. Let's read this comic. And also, Adela, welcome to class. Adela, how's it going?
I'm fine, thanks.
Is that a picture of you as a child?
Sorry, it's very okay. It's a little small the letter
Yeah.
to the comic.
Yeah, we'll work on that. But is the picture that you have, is that a picture of you as a child?
I don't understand exactly. Sorry.
The
It's
picture?
exactly yes.
So the picture you're using as your icon picture, you are using.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yes. I about the picture, the comic, and I don't understand the question. Yes, it's a picture for myself. Myself, yes,
Okay, good. It's a picture of myself.
of myself. Yes,
Uh-huh.
sorry.
And I didn't understand.
Yes.
But good. Okay, yeah, and welcome to class. It's nice to have you again, Adela.
Okay.
Okay, and where are we? Let's have Jose, can you read the role of the little boy? And
Yes.
Javier, can you read the role of the tiger?
The more you know, the harder it is to take decisive action.
It's still you, Jose.
Yes. Once you become informed, you start seeing complexities and shades of gray. You realize that nothing is as clear and simple as it first appears ultimately. Knowledge is paralyzing. Being a man of action, I can afford to take that risk.
You're ignorant, but at least you act on it.
Nice, nicely done. So Jose, a couple of small things.
Okay.
Decisive.
Okay, decisive. Decisive.
And shades.
Shade.
excuse me, informed.
Informed.
Uh-huh. Ultimately,
Ultimately.
realize.
Realize.
Mhm.
Okay.
Ultimately. So it's an ul.
Ultimately. Ultimately. Okay.
Perfect. And let's have, oops, sorry. Javier, what's happening here?
Well, the child is arguing that a lot of information keep him paralyzed. You don't know what to do with all the information. I think is that. I think is that what the comic means?
You
So
think
wants to
what?
show. Excuse me?
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. I think
Oh,
that's what.
I think what the comic shows.
Okay. I think that's what the comic shows.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what the comic is showing. I guess, Julieta, what do you think about this? What do you think about the idea that, the more information you have, the harder it is to make a decision?
It could be.
It could be true.
Perhaps it could be in the sense that you think you are making a good decision and that it's easy to take, but you don't know that much about what are you doing, and perhaps you will do wrong.
Huh. You will make a mistake.
Make a mistake.
And instead of saying what are you doing? What you are, because it's a statement instead of a question.
What you are doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Exactly right. Maybe Alexander, what would you prefer? Would you prefer to have more information and have it harder to make a decision, or do you prefer to have less information so you can make easy decisions?
It's difficult to say, but I would prefer having a lot of information and trying to do my best, to overcome this difficult this let's say just a sec. Complexity, to overcome this complexity.
Uh-huh. Nice. Good. Yeah, I think that's probably a good choice, having a lot of information and having to overcome these difficult decisions than having a lack of information and having them be easy. That's probably, I would support that. Okay. And does anybody have any questions here? Any questions on this page? Okay. Let's go on. Let's talk about availability bias. And let's have Adela, can you read the title and the paragraph?
Irrational decisions, availability bias, or bias, I don't know, bias.
Bias.
Bias. A mental shortcut that relies on immediate examples that come to a given person's mind when evaluating a specific topic, concept, method, or decision. The availability heuristic operates on the notion that if something can be recalled, it must be important or important, or at least more important than alternative solutions which are not as readily recalled. Subsequently, under the availability heuristic, people tend to heavily weight their judgment toward more recent information, making new opinions, biased toward the latest news. For example, someone who watches a lot of movies about terrorist attacks may think the frequency of the terrorism to be higher than it actually is.
Nice. Okay. Good job. Really good reading. A couple tough words. Relies.
Realize.
Relies. You did a really good job with heuristic. It's got a slight H sound, a heuristic.
Heuristic.
Heuristic. Operates.
Operates.
Good. Solutions.
Solutions.
Yeah, just getting the S. Readily recalled.
Readily recalled.
Nice. And judgments.
Judgments.
Toward.
Toward.
Yeah.
And actually.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Actually.
Yeah, you can say it like that. You're almost doing a little bit too much work. Actually. Yeah, you're pronouncing this which is good. You can. I would recommend just saying actually. That's what I say. That's what I'd say most people say. Actually. If you take your time and say it, it sounds like actually, but most people will only say actually.
Actually,
yeah. Actually. Yeah, that's actually what we say, even though you should say actually. It's a tough one. It's whatever you want to do. Remember, there are two ways of saying it. This is easier and more common.
Actually.
Good, actually.
Thank you.
And yeah, I think we're good. Does anybody have any questions on this?
Yes, what's the meaning of bias?
Okay. Does anybody know what a bias is?
Is when an opinion is influenced for another is not I think is not objective, is has a tendency, no? Or no?
Yeah, so it's not fair or balanced. So if you're biased, you have a prior opinion to take into account, for sure. Does that make sense, Mary?
I'm not quite sure.
When you say a fact and you don't say the facts exactly, but your opinion in this information.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a prejudice. This is the definition. So prejudice in favor of one thing, person, or group compared with another, usually in a way considered to be unfair. So it's like an unfair prejudice for something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
I didn't understand the second sentence.
The availability heuristic operates on the notion that if something can be recalled, it must be important, or at least more important than alternatives, which are not as readily recalled. So, the availability heuristic. So a heuristic, the definition of heuristic as an adjective is enabling a person to discover or learn something from themselves. And so this is like the availability heuristic. It's a term, but what you learn for yourself based on how it's available to you because you know it, um, is kind of what it's talking about. It's a really difficult thing to explain because heuristic as a noun is defined by itself. So like this thing says that if you can remember something,
Mm-hmm.
it's more
It's
important
important.
than what you can't remember. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're looking for examples in your mind, what you remember is automatically considered more important than what you remember later or what you don't remember at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a fallacy. It's not true. It might be true, but it's not always true, and generally it's wrong. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Any other questions here?
Yes, Joshua. This, for like I see this bias could be done for opinions or
Mm-hmm.
that other people can do to influence, for example, the population. Usually, in my case, I used to hear that opinions, but also I like to see data
Uh-huh.
to validate that what they are saying is true. Obviously, for a secure source.
Yeah. So like validating things that are true from a secure source is good.
Yes.
This is more talking about generalities. So if you make an assumption based on an example, so it's not saying that the example that you're thinking of is untrue. It's just that the assumption that you're making off the example is false.
Okay.
So I think the example is a really good one. So somebody who watches a lot of movies about terrorist attacks will then think that terrorist attacks maybe are more frequent. So what they're talking about here, terrorist attacks happen all the time. And the availability bias behind that statement is that he watches lots of movies about terrorist attacks, therefore he thinks that they're higher because they're easily recalled. They come to mind easily. Does that make sense?
Okay. Okay. Yes. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. And any questions here? Any other questions?
Maybe the heuristic about the question of Julieta, maybe the available heuristic can be translated or means the short way to remember. The is a short a short way, I think, to remember maybe.
Um, yeah. So availability is just how
Yes,
easy it
it's
is to.
knowledge to have this availability,
Uh-huh.
and
So it's close at hand.
I think, man, it's complicated.
Yeah.
Okay.
So available is close at
Yes,
hand, and a heuristic, like at least heuristic.
but the to the heuristic is a noun, and I think is in the together, no, is more or less think that, but I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, so heuristic is an adjective, would be enabling a person to discover or learn something for themselves. And as a noun, it's defined as a heuristic process or method. A heuristic process or method. So a method that allows somebody to learn for themselves. So an availability heuristic is, something that's close at hand that you learned for yourself, more or less. Again, it's a really tricky one to describe, at least for me. But yeah, you did a good job with that too. Any other questions? Okay, and let's have, I'm not exactly sure where we are. Adela, can you ask Yagis? And Yagis, welcome to class. How's it going?
Hi, I am from Turkey.
Okay.
How are you guys?
Hi, how are you?
Fine, fine.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. But yeah, welcome to class. We'll actually get
Thank
right
you.
back to you. So Adela, can you ask Mary this question?
Yes. Have you ever made a bad decision because of availability bias?
Yes. um, there was some breaking news about few people stealing bikes, and I decided not to go to my job biking, but using the public transportation. But my cell phone was robbed in the public transportation. So maybe I was better biking.
Uh-huh. So maybe it was better. Yeah, that's really sad. I'm sorry to hear that. That's a really
Yeah.
bad example. That's a really good example, though. That was perfect. Okay. And Luis, can you answer the same question?
Let me see. Maybe when I was in college, I choose. I didn't choose be a teacher because I thought that wasn't a good career. But now I'm trying.
But now I'm trying to be a teacher.
Yes, I'm trying to do a new graduation. So if I have been doing when I the first place today, I would be already I would have a good career already. No?
Huh? Have a good career already. Nice. Yeah, if I tried it in the first place, I'd have a good career already. Nice, that works, I think. That's a good one. All right. And maybe one more. Jose, what about you?
Okay, in Spain we are throwing a bike crisis. I
Whoa,
heard
wait.
on
Hold
on
on.
the news we are we are throwing a big crisis. I heard all the time on the news bad news about the economic situation in Spain. I feel scared about it sometimes.
Okay. We would never throw a big crisis.
Yes,
What verb could we use?
we are uh, crossing
Not
or
causing.
or uh, fu- fu- fu-
Does anybody have any
Kuta,
ideas?
Kuta cross or brick throw, no? No.
No. Anybody else have any ideas?
Passing through?
That works. Passing through,
Passing through?
having. Having is the verb I would
Ah,
use.
having is the best.
Mhm.
Okay, having.
I hear bad news all the time about the economy, uh, and I'm scared about it sometimes. So, this thought of, passing through or having a big crisis and hearing bad news about it has this affected any decisions that you make in your life? Has this affected any other
Yes, yes,
decisions?
yes, yes. I think that this new affect in order to make decisions.
I'm not sure if I understand what you mean.
Yes, for me, it affect to if it affected to make a decision.
Okay, so it affects decisions that you make?
Yes.
Okay. Um, yeah.
I,
All right.
for me, for all the people, I think.
Okay. Good. Maybe Javier, what's a bad decision that you can make because you're hearing about economic crisis all the time? What's a bad decision that you can make?
I don't know, possibly sell everything and move to another country.
Yeah.
That's what happened here in Puerto Rico right now.
That's what is
happening.
happening.
It's happening, yes.
Really?
Yeah, we are having also economic issues in the island.
Okay. I did not know that. Okay. How long have the economic issues in Puerto Rico been going on?
Well, they are very marked from 2006. We are passing through 8 years or 9 of recession.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that. I always kind of thought that the Puerto Rican economy was tied up a little bit more closely with the United States' economy.
That's the problem because the United States is improving their economy, but Puerto Rico go backwards.
Okay.
And there are a lot of Puerto Ricans that are immigrating to the U.S. looking for a better way of life.
Okay. There are a lot of Puerto Ricans, we'd say, emigrating, so they're going out of Puerto Rico to the U.S.
Yes.
Yeah. So because you're in Puerto Rico, they're emigrating from where you are. That's the word you'd use. If I was in the United States, I'd say there are a lot of Puerto Ricans immigrating to the United States.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I think we're good here. Does anybody have any comments or questions or something that they'd really like to say on this page? Okay. And we could read this. Let's skip this for... Okay. Let's read this. And Javier, can you read this quotation?
Quotations. Is there an offensive and potentially disastrous repercussions to the rash acts of the ignorant? So too are there unanticipated consequences buried in works of genius.
Okay. Unforeseen.
Unforeseen. I don't know what unforeseen means.
What does unforeseen mean? Does anybody know?
Unexpectedly?
Yeah. Well, sort of. It's not seen beforehand. So something that you can't see before it happens is unforeseen. Predict. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And also, Javier, can you repeat repercussions?
Repercussions.
Uh-huh. Consequences?
Consequences.
Unanticipated.
Unanticipated.
Uh-huh. Good. And maybe genius.
Genius.
Yeah, genius. Okay. Good. And Javier, can you ask Julieta the question?
Julieta, do you agree or disagree? Explain. Try to give examples.
So, uh, he's trying to say that we have a potentially disastrous consequences um, in ignorant and in the genius world. Mm,
So we have potentially disastrous consequences to ignorance and to works of ignorance and genius.
mhm.
Okay. Yeah. And what do you think about this?
I can think about atomic bomb maybe.
Nice. I can think about the. I can think about the atomic bomb. Mm, it's good. It works. I can think about the atomic bomb. I think I would use the present progressive. I am thinking about the atomic bomb. You could say a good example is the atomic bomb. I think that's probably what I'd say. I think a good example is the atomic bomb. And can you explain that?
Okay, using the energy of atom, it's a great improvement in human life, but the consequences of that could be very disastrous because it was an atomic bomb.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Right.
Yeah, okay. I think that's a really, really good example. Adela, can you think of any other examples?
I don't have any example in this moment. I think, but I don't. I understand the quotation, but
Okay.
but
Do you agree with it?
yes, maybe people the work of people, the best people need to minimize the problem caused for the ignorant. I think is my resume, my abstract, about the quotation.
Mm-hmm. So people like maybe the
Genius, genius,
geniuses.
geniuses need to minimize. No, your work is minimized to repercussion about the ignorant cause sometimes, and this is a work is hide, is not maybe sometimes is not.
I think you're on the right track, but it's a slightly different. What they're saying is that the work of geniuses too has or like can have very serious and very negative side effects. So even if you think something through, something that has been thought through can have tremendous, maybe tremendously negative effects. Does that make sense?
Yes, more or less. I think is that in my words you are very a good sentence. It's not yeah,
Yeah.
well. No, it's yes, yes.
Okay. But yeah, I think that's basically you've got it. Um, I guess Mary, can you think of an example?
Yes, I was watching a documentary yesterday about Albert Einstein, and there was a physicist or a chemist, I don't remember, that he didn't know how to use gases, and he know also that that could be poisonous, poisonous for people. So he was the genius because he did know how to use that gases, but he was also the ignorant because he thought it was a good tool to kill people and to to get Germany to the victory.
Okay.
So in some cases, there is no difference. I mean, maybe there is people that are a genius, and there are others that has a lot of power and want to use that ideas in the wrong way. But sometimes it is seen in the same person. It can be seen in the same person.
Uh-huh. Seen in the same person. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Um, there's a chemist or a physicist, I don't know, um, who didn't know how to use gases? Are we talking
He
about?
did.
Okay. Yeah. So he knew
Yeah.
how to use gases. Um, and because he knew, but he was ignorant, he thought it was a good idea to kill people. Okay, and this chemist was not Albert Einstein.
No, it was a documentary about him, but the other guy was his partner. I
Okay.
don't remember his name.
Uh-huh. People who are geniuses and that spend lots of power and money. Yeah, no, that's good. Um, that's a really good example. I think this quotation is maybe talking about like works of genius as good things and not like evil genius, like what you're talking about, kind of. But that was really, really good explanation, good grammar, and a good answer as well. And it works with this quotation too. Yes, exactly, Julieta. That's a really good example as well. All right. Yeah.
Sometimes, sorry, sometimes it's not opposite, but sometimes events for the military actions are after use in civil life. For
Mm-hmm.
example, the GPS, the Napstar
Yeah.
satellite is a good use after years. I think
Uh-huh.
sometimes is not only negative.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes there are positive things.
Yeah. So unintended repercussions can be positive as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. That's perfect. Okay. Good. And we're close to out of time. Let's end on a comic. Um, and so let's have Luis. Can you read the role of the worker? Let's have Jose. Can you read the role of the boss? And let's have Javier. Can you read the role of the coworker?
Okay. So that's my problem. and I am curious how you would try to solve it if you were me.
You actually care about my opinion. Yes, I really do.
Are you any closer to solving your problem?
Yep, so far I have eliminated all of the choice that idiots would make.
Choices. Can you repeat choices?
Choices.
Uh-huh. And Julieta, what's happening here?
So the employee is asking the boss about solve a problem. So then he will use the boss opinion to eliminate the choice of that idiots will make.
Yeah, the bosses.
Bossy.
Bosses. Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly. So he's kind of calling his boss an idiot. All right. I have another class after this. I just added that class. If you guys want to join, I'd love to have you. I do have to end this class now. But again, if you want to come in, I'd love to have you guys. And thanks for everything.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
right.
you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Bye.